session, we are going to start with the subject biopharmaceutics and the pharmacokinetics. In this, initially we will discuss the syllabus and thereafter the introduction to the biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics by discussing the various definitions thereunder. So herewith, this is the disclaimer for the viewers. Let us move towards the scope of the subject. So this subject is designed to impart knowledge and skills of biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics and their applications in pharmaceutical development, design of dose and dosage regimen, and in solving the problems arise therein. So this is the scope of subject biopharmaceutics and the pharmacokinetics, to impart the knowledge and skills of biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics, their applications in pharmaceutical development, and design of dose and dosage regimen, and in solving the problems arise therein. Let us see the course objectives. There are 4 course objectives are there. Very first one, to understand the basic concepts in biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics and their significance. Then use of plasma drug concentration time data to calculate the pharmacokinetic parameters to describe the kinetics of drug absorption, distribution, metabolism, and the excretion. To understand the concepts of viability and bioequivalence of drug product and their significance, and to understand various pharmacokinetic parameters, their significance, and the application. So there are total 4 course objectives which are set for the subject biopharmaceutics and the pharmacokinetics, and you will be able to understand the basic concepts in biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics along with their significance. You will be able to use the plasma drug concentration time data to calculate pharmacokinetic parameters to describe the kinetics of drug absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. You will be able to understand the concepts of viability and bioequivalence of drug products and their significance, and you will be able to understand various pharmacokinetic parameters, their significance, and the applications. Let us move towards the course outcomes. So after successful completion of the course, you will be able to understand concept of ADME of drug in the human body. ADME, that is absorption, distribution, metabolism, and elimination. You will be able to determine the various pharmacokinetic parameters from either plasma concentration or urinary X-ray data for the drug. You will be able to apply the various regulations related to developing BA/BE study protocol for the new drug molecule. So whatever you will learn in the subject biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics, at the end, you will be able to apply the things for design and development of the certain drug delivery systems, and furthermore, it is applicable to optimize the patient therapy. So these are the course outcomes. Unit 1, absorption. Total 6 hours are given, and in the absorption, we are going to discuss mechanisms of drug absorption through the GIT, like passive diffusion, carrier-mediated transport, facilitated diffusion, active transport, pinocytosis, phagocytosis, ion pair transport, and so on. Furthermore, we are going to discuss the absorption of drug, various factors influencing the drug absorption through the GIT, like pharmaceutical factors and patient-related factors. Pharmaceutical factors are furthermore divided into the physicochemical properties of the drug and dosage form related factors. And the last point which we are going to discuss under the chapter absorption, that is absorption of drug from non-per-oral extravascular routes. Let us move towards the next chapter, that is the distribution. Total hours given, that is 4 hours, and we are going to discuss the tissue permeability of drug, binding of drug, then apparent volume of distribution. Then furthermore, we are going to discuss the plasma and tissue protein binding of drug, factors affecting to protein binding of drug, then kinetics of protein binding, clinical significance of protein binding of drug. So in short, we are going to discuss the tissue binding and protein binding and factors affecting to distribution and significance of the protein binding. Unit number 2, chapter elimination. Total 4 hours are given, and we are going to discuss the drug metabolism and basic understanding of the metabolic pathways, that is a biotransformation. Then the renal excretion of drug, factors affecting renal excretion of drug, and the renal clearance, that is the concept of clearance. Then furthermore, we are going to discuss non-renal routes of drug excretion. So these are the things which we are going to discuss under the chapter elimination, that is the drug metabolism and basic understanding of metabolic pathway, then renal excretion of drug and factors affecting to renal excretion and the renal clearance. And furthermore, we are going to discuss the non-renal routes of drug excretion of the drugs. The next chapter which we are going to discuss under the unit 2, that is the bioavailability and the bioequivalence. Total 6 hours are given for the chapter bioavailability and bioequivalence, and we are going to discuss the definition of bioavailability and bioequivalence, then objectives of the bioavailability study, then what is mean by the absolute and relative bioavailability, and measurement of the bioavailability. Furthermore, we are going to discuss in vitro drug dissolution models along with the in vitro and in vivo correlation. Then the bioequivalence studies, and the last point which we are going to discuss under the chapter bioavailability and bioequivalence is the methods to enhance the dissolution rate and bioavailability of poorly soluble drugs. So these are the things related with the bioavailability and the bioequivalence. Then the next unit, unit number 3, approximately 10 hours are given, and the name of the chapter is pharmacokinetics. It is very important chapter as far as concerned with the subject biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics. We are going to discuss the definition and introduction to the pharmacokinetics, then the compartmental models, non-compartmental models, and the physiological models, their advantages, disadvantages, significance, applications, and so on. Furthermore, we are going to discuss one compartment open model intravenous bolus administration, one compartment open model intravenous infusion, that is also known as the constant rate regimen, then one compartment open model extravascular administration. And we are going to discuss furthermore the pharmacokinetic parameters like elimination rate constant, elimination half-life, apparent volume of distribution, area under curve, absorption rate constant, total clearance, and the renal clearance along with their definitions, then methods of elimination, understanding of their significance, and the application. So these are the things which we are going to discuss under the chapter pharmacokinetics, that is the introduction to pharmacokinetics, then the various models and the compartmental model in order to calculate the various pharmacokinetic parameters. Unit number 4, approximately 8 hours are given, and the name of the chapter, that is the multi-compartment model, and we are going to discuss the 2-compartment open model, IV bolus kinetics of multiple dosing and steady state drug levels. Furthermore, we are going to discuss the calculation of loading and maintenance doses and their significance in the clinical setting. So these are the points which we are going to discuss under the chapter multi-compartment models. Then unit number 5, approximately 7 hours are given. The name of the chapter, that is non-linear pharmacokinetics. We are going to discuss the introduction, then factors affecting to non-linearity, then Michaelis-Menten method of estimating parameters, that is pharmacokinetic parameters, and explanation along with the examples of the drug which are showing the non-linearity. So in short, we are going to discuss the absorption, distribution, elimination, metabolism, then the introduction to pharmacokinetics, then compartmental modeling, then multi-compartmental modeling, and the non-linear pharmacokinetics in the subject biopharmaceutics and the pharmacokinetics. Let us move towards the introduction to biopharmaceutics. So initially, you should know what is mean by the term biopharmaceutics. As the pharmaceutics, it is simply the development of the dosage form by combining the drug and the excipients. That is simply the pharmaceutics. So the biopharmaceutics, it is a study of factors influencing the rate and amount of drug that reaches the systemic circulation and the use of this information to optimize the therapeutic efficacy of drug product that is known as the biopharmaceutics. As the drug, it is in the dosage form, when it is given by the oral route of administration, the formulation, it is going to be dissolved and drug is going to be released, and furthermore it is going to be absorbed. So whatever the factors are there, starting from the route of administration to till the absorption of the drug into the systemic circulation and use of this information for optimizing the patient therapy, that is known as the biopharmaceutics. So in short, it is a study of factors influencing the rate, at what rate the drug it is going to be reached into the systemic circulation, and how much amount of drug reached into the systemic circulation, and use of this information to optimize the therapeutic efficacy of drug product, that is known as the biopharmaceutics. Moving towards the absorption, all of you are aware about the various routes of administration. Say for example, oral route of administration, parenteral route of administration, inhalation route of administration, nasal, rectal, and so on. When the drug is given by the oral route of administration from the gastrointestinal tract through hepatic portal vein, when the drug reaches initially to the liver and thereafter it is going to be distributed into the large pool of the body, that is from systemic circulation into the various organs. So the absorption, it is nothing but a process of movement of drug from site of administration to the systemic circulation. Simply that is known as the drug absorption. So the absorption, it is a process of movement of drug from its site of administration to systemic circulation. It is called as the absorption. Moving towards the next term, that is the bioavailability. At what rate the drug it is going to be reached into the systemic circulation, and how much extent it is going to be reached into the systemic circulation, that is known as the bioavailability. Look at the figure here. The drug it is given by the oral route of administration, and the drug it is given by the parenteral route of administration. Look at the another figure, that is a graph. When the drug is given by the parenteral route of administration, initially the concentration in body it is very high due to the 100% drug it is bioavailable, and then thereafter there is a decline in PDC. And when the drug is given by the oral route of administration, initially rapid rise in the drug concentration due to absorption, and thereafter there is a decline in the plasma concentration. So viability, it is nothing but at what rate and drug it is going to be absorbed and how much extent it is going to be absorbed, that is known as the bioavailability. Let us see the drug disposition. Drug disposition, it is furthermore classified as the drug distribution and the elimination. Drug distribution and the elimination, it is known as the drug disposition. So the drug disposition, it is furthermore divided as into the drug distribution and the drug elimination. These two processes which are going to reduce the plasma drug concentration, and it plays an important role in a therapeutic activity of the drug, that is known as the drug disposition. Let us move towards the next definition, that is the drug distribution. So the distribution, it is nothing but a movement of drug between one compartment and other compartment. It is known as the drug distribution. When the drug is given by the oral route, the drug reaches into through hepatic portal when it reaches to heart, and from heart to the all over the body, and it gets distributed. Let us see the drug elimination. So the drug elimination, it is furthermore divided into the biotransformation, that is a metabolism, and the excretion. So excretion, it is nothing but a irreversible loss of drug from the body, that is known as the excretion. And metabolism, it is nothing but a conversion of a complex lipophilic drug into the simple polar water soluble, which gets easily cleared from the body, that is known as the metabolism or the biotransformation. So in short, the drug elimination, it is a process that tends to remove the drug from the body and terminates its action, that is known as the drug elimination. So elimination, it is nothing but a removal of a drug from the body, and furthermore, it is going to terminate the action of drug, that is known as the elimination. Let us move towards the next terminology, that is the pharmacokinetics. Simply, the pharmacokinetics, it is nothing but a kinetics of the absorption, distribution, metabolism, and the excretion, that is known as the pharmacokinetics. So the pharmacokinetics, it is a study of time course of a drug ADME and their relationship with its therapeutic and the toxic effects of the drug. As I have said that the pharmacokinetics is the kinetics of the ADME. That is, it is the study of what the body does to the drug. That is nothing but the pharmacokinetics. It relates, that is pharmacokinetic relates changes in concentration of a drug within the body with a time after its administration. So in short, pharmacokinetics, it is nothing but a kinetics of the absorption, distribution, metabolism, and the excretion, that is known as the pharmacokinetics. Let us see what is mean by the pharmacodynamics. Pharmacodynamics, it is nothing but a simply the pharmacological response. So it refers to the relationship between drug concentration at a site of action and the resulting pharmacological effect, including the time course and the intensity of therapeutic and the adverse effect, that is known as the pharmacodynamics. So simply, it is the study of what the drug does to the body, that is known as the pharmacodynamics, and it relates response to concentration of drug in the body. Let us see the definition of the clinical pharmacokinetics. So clinical pharmacokinetics, it is nothing but the use of pharmacokinetic principles in the optimizing the drug dosage to suit individual patient needs and achieving maximum therapeutic utility is called as clinical pharmacokinetics. So whatever we are learning from the biopharmaceutics and the pharmacokinetics, various pharmacokinetic parameters, and use this information to individualize the patient therapy and its optimization, that is known as the clinical pharmacokinetics. That is use of pharmacokinetic principles in the optimizing the drug dosage to suit individual patient needs and achieving maximum therapeutic utility is called as the clinical pharmacokinetics. And the last definition, which we are going to discuss in the introduction, that is a dosage regimen. The manner in which the drug should be given or taken, that is known as the dosage regimen. Let us see the references. There is a books which should be used to study the subject biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics. Very first book, which is the basic one, that is biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics, a treatise by Brahmankar and Jaiswal. Then second book, that is applied biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics by Levon Shargel. Then pharmacokinetics by Gibaldi Perrier, then biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics by P.L. Madan, then clinical pharmacokinetics and concepts and application by the Roland and Tozer, and the last book, that is the basic pharmacokinetics by Zambekar and Breen. For the general concepts, you can use the book, that is the Brahmankar and Jaiswal and P.L. Madan. If you want to learn something advanced, you have to supposed to read the Levon Shargel's book, then Milo Gibaldi, then Roland and Tozer, and Zambekar and Breen. So these are the few books which should be used for the subject biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics. Thank you very much.